It's amazing how many people will come and say, I don't know anything about Haiti. I mean, all I can think of is voodoo and AIDS and terrorism. But people have been coming into our art shows discovering that we have this wonderful wealth of knowledge about Haiti that they can learn. This young woman with a chicken in her arm and in her basket, you see women like that all the time. The market scenes, if you've never been to Haiti, that's just what the market scenes look like, except even more crowded than that.
Haiti is an incredible place. It is like having Africa in the West Indies. And when the French and African get together, whoo, honey, that's hot blood. The energy is there, the source is there. There is poverty in Haiti, but they are culturally rich.
I have seen kids with problems, but I just was so touched by these children who had the orange hair and the big tummies. And it was a very simple lack of vitamin A, which is so easy to take care of, but it requires money. We sell a lot of paintings to raise money, so our eye clinics have the equipment and the medicine and the laser, and all you have to do is see one child, see again.
Haiti is one of the richest countries in the Caribbean. Spiritually rich, and you can't, they have not lost it, they will never lose it. Economically, Haiti has been, unfortunately, that way. They always show the slums, they always show the poverty. There is poverty in Haiti, but there's also the other side. I wish people get to know the other part of the world. Particularly Haiti, the Caribbean, it's an untapped world, you know. We all need each other badly. Anything that they can do to help us. This is a very proud country and very proud people, very dignified people. And they band together and they stick together at anything anyone can do to help them. It's a good cause. They need a lot.
I had long been in development work and wanted to see if we could actually make a difference in the private sector without having either government involved, and to see how efficiently we could do that. And I was looking for a place that was kind of like Nigeria, and Haiti was the mirror image, and only a 90-minute flight from Miami. In '77, I had an introduction to the Sisters of St. Margaret, Sister Joan Margaret herself, and she had a whole bunch of kids that needed their eyes taken care of. I think we had a total of $1,800, and we decided we were going to build an eye clinic.
It's been marvelous because first they needed a little room, and so we emptied a little storeroom that we had. We gave them that for a clinic. There was no clinic. They just saw children out in the yard.
Look at that girl there. Once you got him shake. If you can get close, you can see how dirty those eyes looks like.
Dr. Frederique was unique. He was the only U.S. board certified Haitian ophthalmologist. And this was exactly the window of opportunity we needed.
If you don't know what happened, you would thought that was congenital glaucoma, but that's not the case. She just had measles. Now, I have not seen that for 15 years. Here's another one of those ulcers. And we finally were able to treat her so she can open the eyeball and save the eye. She's quite a character, but she almost lost really that eyeball.
They needed another little room, so we gave them that little room. Then they needed a desk in the office, so we gave them a desk in the office. And pretty soon they needed well, they were going to have an operating room, so of course they had to have a post-op room. And so we moved our antique shop to another place and gave them that whole section there.
Dr. Frederique is important in medical history in Haiti and will be revered for generations to come. And since '77, he's worked with eye care, and he's been the backbone of the organization. He, of course, has devoted his entire life to the eyesight of all Haitians, rich and poor. And as long as he was working with us, there'd be never any question about the quality of the work.
It's amazing how many of these kids, after they had the surgery, even when they're 5 years old or 1 year old, they have not been able to see well. When you operate the first eye, when they come back in a week or 2 weeks, or you see the first eye, they really change. They change tremendously. They can communicate, they can see, and you can see they start, grasping you.
There is a great backlog of people that haven't been able to have their eyes fixed. There's no preventative care. And trauma is enormous. The fish hooks and the rooster pecks and the spikes going through the woods at night. It just has to do with the fact that people are poor.
Everything was clear. There was no mistake, no error. Now he can see. He's happier now. He's smiling. He's playing.
We did something that the Peace Corps has always done. We actually called the Haitian medical community together and said, before we start this project, what is it that you need? They've made it very clear they needed two things. They needed a permanent program, something that would leave a mark and be there. And they needed a rural program.
The first time I went to Haiti with Timothy, we hopped in the truck and we jiggled up and down the roads. And suddenly out in the middle of nowhere was this lovely clinic. Everybody just set up their little boxes and equipment, and we got the scales out, and the babies were being weighed and the eyes were being checked, and the little children were lining up. And I was just absolutely amazing. Everybody was all dressed up in their best, and they looked so clean and crisp. Some of the mothers had gotten up at 3 in the morning to bring their children down to the clinic, and they had walked for 2 hours to get there.
We started doing what I called footprints of service right across Haiti. And we would build a clinic and train Haitian professionals, right from the eye doctors themselves, even more importantly, the ophthalmic assistants who were at the center and able to go out, find the patients, and bring them back to the doctor, who was then able to stay in a permanent spot.
I have seen kids before with problems, but I just was so touched by these children who had the orange hair and the big tummies. And it was a very simple lack of vitamin A, which is so easy to take care of.
He has really lost a lot of fluid and fat. Must have been a malnourished child before he get the measles. So he still has fever. He's in a very active phase. If you can see the mouth, how blistery the mouth is with blister fever. We're trying to load him up with vitamin A and give him a lot of fluids, a lot of nourishment and antibiotics to get him out of his measles. He went to a hospital in Leogane where they gave him some prescription for medicine. He was given some eye medicines. But I think, as usual, many doctors forget that the kids need vitamin A. He gets everything except vitamin A. And that's why he can't get better, for the eyes without the vitamin A.
$5 more than covers the vitamin A for a small child, but it requires money. It requires a clinic and a lot of doctors.
He said he feels like, he's really worried. He would like, not the child not to become blind at age 4.
Everyone.
It's always hard to raise money. So we decided to be truly American about this, the entrepreneurial spirit, and started working in the Haitian art arena.
Beautiful. iCare sells more art than any gallery in the United States. The whole point is to raise money, so our eye clinics have the equipment and the medicine and the laser. We travel around the country and we take Haitian art. That gives us the advantage of being able to sell art in 6, 7, 8, 10 different cities in the United States.
Last year alone, we raised over $200,000 in the art show. We used to give 2 shows a year, and we didn't have a problem with storage. Now, the office is full. The storage bin is now too full, so now it's overflowed into my house.
It's very grassrooty, and it's really right down there. And we try not to pay for much of anything. Obviously, you pay to have your invitations printed, and if you want to put an ad in the paper. So we try to save money so we can get the money back to Haiti. This is a Philippe Auguste, which are very hard to find.
The stuff is irresistible. It's affordable, and it's fun. It's such a universe unto itself, in such a tiny clutch of folks. You know, it's a world-renowned genre. So we just made it our own, and it was the perfect cycle. Here you have artists who see the world in a unique way, creating stuff that we brought up to America, translated into money, to go back to Haiti so the next generation of people could see the world and translate it into their own beauty.
We have 23 boxes and 3 duffel bags.
It starts usually at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we go down there with at least 20 boxes. And I'm not talking little boxes, I'm talking big boxes.
How long will you stay?
Till next Wednesday.
That's on the Wednesday, 8 days.
That goes in your car.
Okay.
With that duffel.
Really? I understand there are some goodies today.
Yes, we have a lot of BSS, a lot of antibiotics, and we have the hospital bed sheets.
We can use it all. It's come at the right time.
The pleasure of the
Is it
matter.
allowed to have a kiss?
Oh, yeah.
On camera?
On camera.
We're not in the art business, we're in the eye business, and we can't afford to spend a lot of money buying paintings. And so the galleries here let us bring everything up on consignment.
Oh, this little guy is hysterical. Look at this Brunese. Definitely have to have some of those. This show is for when? The one you're here for now?
4 shows. First Miami, then New York, then Milwaukee, and San Francisco.
Oh, wonderful.
And then we're going to die. We travel very fast. Look at that guy.
Oh! He has 5 Dr. House.
You really look at the art and think, this would be terrific, and wow, that'll be nice for New York, and Milwaukee would love that. And here's a painting that should be at all the art shows. Isn't that wonderful? The tire, the wheelbarrow?
Beverly brings together a couple of things. She has an unbelievably good eye, not only for good art, but for what sells.
Ooh, God, they're just wonderful in the dark.
It's very difficult doing business in Haiti because electricity is the exception to the rule
That's wonderful.
instead of the rule.
Oh, look at that one, too. That one has wonderful colors in it. The lights went on. We got our electricity back. That's terrific. Ah, wow. We don't need this now.
Our clinics are controlled by a generator, so it doesn't affect the eye surgery. We still can perform that, but it does affect the offices, the paperwork that gets done, the whole country is affected by the electricity, the lack of it. The operation has grown, has gotten bigger, and we have now expanded to employing over 100 people in Haiti. In 1978, with the first clinic open at École St. Vincent, we saw 1,200 patients a year. And now we see close to 50,000 patients a year. I think that we have expanded beyond our name. Our major focus is on eyes, but it's very hard to save a child from going blind knowing he's going to die from malnutrition.
Today he has less fever. He's starting, feeling more himself.
If eye care can get a child
Both eyes.
to 5 years old, they have a pretty good chance.
So we hope to save something for him. At least he will be able to walk around. There's a tremendous loss of vitamin A. See, all those kids with congenital cataract have some kind of brain defect. The behavior is strange. They're always acting funny, beating their head. Watch his behavior. He's going to start getting more or less agitated, He starts putting his hands in front of his eyes to see what he's seeing, what he can see. So I think he's seeing something now. Because the other eye is not seeing, because he still has had no surgery on the other eye. If you operate quite early, you have a better chance. That's my beautiful prize. She had about 6 operations, 3 on each eye. It's a big fight to save some sight for her.
I'm asking for $2 for eye care. Eye care needs all the help. No problem. Un little petit cadeau. Madame? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $40.
60.
60? $45.
60, Mom.
No.
Yeah, Mom.
50 top dollar.
All right.
We run around and beg, borrow boxes from anybody we can, and we start packing them all up. Yeah. It's just like when we came in, we've got 20 big boxes.
175, say 2 over here somewhere. 175, 200, 225 on that, 50 standing in the back. 250, 275, say 3. Say 50, 350. 375. 500.
There's always something to be found in the creative community of Haiti, and Beverly's there with a very keen eye.
$800, thank you.
You think, oh, why am I doing this? Your toes hurt, your ears hurt, and your back hurt, and you're wondering why you're schlepping these big boxes up and down and hauling them back and forth, or you're begging somebody to, please, can't you do this? Maybe you can help us out and do it for less. And then you suddenly remember that child that saw for this first time. Seeing one person see again is all it takes. And buying the paintings did it.
I love Haiti. Very simple. I love Haiti. Anything I can do for them, I gladly will. How many of you have been? How many of you have not been? Sad people. The people are the most beautiful people in the world. This is a very proud country and very proud people. And anything for Haiti, it's a good cause. They need a lot.